Hi, I'm going to go over something that you're probably going to do a lot throughout your time in this class, which is how do you actually download code onto your computer from online to use in BlueJ. So to start, I'm going to show you how to do this from Schoology, which is the learning management system platform that we use at school, after which I'll show you how to do it if you're using the Google Drive link. So on Schoology, this is generally what our materials page will look like for the class. Mine probably has more things than yours since this is the one from last year, but you should have at least a folder called Carol the Robot on your Schoology as of now. So I'm going to click in there. And the way that code actually works when we are getting you to download it onto your computer is we have you download it as a zip file. Now, all a zip file is basically just a whole bunch of different files smushed together in a folder and packaged in kind of a shareable format, right? If I have a whole bunch of files that I actually want to send somebody, I actually can't send them a folder like it lives on my computer, but what I can do is I can take that folder and actually smush it down into this other file format called a zip file, and I can send or share that. And that's what this is. This Adventures of Carol 2024 zip file actually just has a whole bunch of different files with code in them that we want you guys to be able to use. So to download this from Schoology, I'm going to click on Adventures of Carol 2024. It'll take me to this weird intermediate screen. I actually have to click on this again. And you can see that actually kind of downloaded onto my computer. For most of you, that will download into something called your downloads folder. So I'm going to go over to my main screen. My downloads folder, I actually have it saved on my computer. Here it is. Here's Adventures of Carol 2024. I'm going to drag out this zip file. Now, as a zip file, since it's this special compressed format, there's not much I can actually do with this. So to get the folder or the contents out of the zip file, I can actually double click it. And you can see now it's made an entire folder with a bunch of things in it. Once I've done that, I can actually get rid of the zip file. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to trash that. I'm going to move this folder into kind of wherever I want it. So in my case, I have a folder I've made for myself on my desktop called SHPCSA. I'm going to put it in there. I would highly recommend having some organization system that you stick to. You're going to be downloading code fairly frequently in this class. So please don't just have them all over your desktop in kind of this crazy manner. I've seen that before, and it makes you lose things pretty frequently. So now that I have that in there, because this is actually a folder, I can't just like double click it to open it in BlueJ like we're used to with maybe a Word doc or something similar. But what I can do is I can open up BlueJ. And sometimes BlueJ will take a little while to open. It's a bit of a clunky app. That's okay. And here we go. BlueJ has opened. And if I want to open the particular project in BlueJ, I can do this. I can go to the project menu. I can click open project. And then I actually have to find it on my desktop. So in this case, I can go to my SHPCSA folder. Here's the Adventures of Carol that I've downloaded, and I can actually open that. And you can see now here's my entire Adventures of Carol kind of open and ready to go. So this is how you can download all of your code files from Schoology. Now, if you're trying to do this with Google Drive, it's probably going to be pretty similar. In most cases, you'll have some link probably in the description of one of these YouTube videos. And what you can do is you can either click on the link or kind of copy and paste the link, and I've just copied the link. And it will take you to a page that looks something like this. This is the zip file, the same thing that we saw when we were doing this with Schoology. Now, you don't want to actually click on any of these folders. Those won't do anything for you. What you want is to actually download the entire zip file. So I'm going to click this button up here that kind of is the download button, right? The arrow into the little box. And it'll do a similar thing to what Schoology did, which is it'll download into my downloads folder. And for me, my downloads folder, again, is on my desktop. If yours is not on your desktop, you can probably open it on a Mac by opening up your Finder. On a PC, there should be a way to access kind of your file system and then finding your downloads folder from there. Once I have that zip file, I can use the same process that I already used to unzip and open it in BlueJ. So hopefully this is helpful for being able to actually download and open zip files and code in BlueJ.